Sorry about the lack of videos earlier today. It's just I've been busy. I got things I need to get done, but I did start Two Towers. I can't promise that the review will be out tomorrow, because at the time we're recording this is like Thursday night, and tomorrow's Friday, and I'm trying to get it out by tomorrow. So the extended editions, if you don't know, the Blu-ray set is split into two different discs. So it's disc 1 and disc 2. And so those are split, right? They're split. And I finished the first disc of Two Towers, so now you gotta watch the second disc. So basically I finished the first half of the movie and then you watch the second half. It's so late at night that I'm not gonna do that. I just stayed up, watched the first half. Tomorrow I'll finish the second half during the day. But I also finished a movie that I've been trying to watch for a very long time. It's called Togo, and this is a Disney Plus original movie that was going to go to theaters but didn't. They didn't think it was good enough to go to theaters, so they waited and sat around on this film. And I can see why. This film is pretty good. In performances, in a performance sense, all the acting here is fantastic. William Dafoe is amazing. He's such a gifted actor, but he gives a fantastic performance here. Not one of his best, but he does give a pretty good performance. All the performances here are great. I also think it's pretty impressive how they were able to train these sled dogs to do all these stunts and things within the movie, and it's really impressive. It's really well done and really well put together. I think it's, I remember when I saw Call of the Wild, I mentioned this movie as an example in that review because it is something that that movie failed at. There was no reason that they couldn't have trained a real dog to do stuff. The dog was overly cartoony and silly in that movie. Whereas this movie, they trained the dog to do stuff. Obviously, that movie had a lot more bigger effects and stunts and things like that. That, obviously not... A dog could do all of it, but, a dog could do some of it. There was no reason it needed to be animated all the time. Right? And with this movie, it's like that too. If a dog can't do something, don't push the dog to do it, is what I'm saying here. It's just, it's really remarkable how they were able to train all these dogs to do some of the stuff that they're able to do in the movie. Where I think this movie fails is why it took me so long to review. It is boring. It is poorly paced. It is so unbelievably poorly paced that the movie just slogs. The sequences are not that interesting. There's little happening on screen. There might be a mild discussion. There's little dialogue. There's little nothing. It's just, it's great performances and cute dogs, but there's not enough of the cute dogs being cute or anything. It's just so unbelievably boring. And it's just because of how it's paced. It's just what's happening on camera or on screen? Nothing. And it's just, who wants to watch this in a theater? This film would have definitely bombed in a theater because there's just nothing here. This is a pretty well-made movie for the most part, but when it gets to the pacing and stuff like that, it just ruins it. In fact, it took me so long to review because I watched a little bit one day, and I was like, gosh, this is a little slow. I turned it off, went and did something else, and then the next day I started a little bit more and a little bit more, got to about 50 minutes, I stopped the film, and then I never went back and watched it, and I've always been meaning to, but it kept forgetting about it because of how boring this movie is. And I don't usually like to call a movie boring, because if a movie's boring, that's kind of a subjective thing, right? Because there are people who watch movies that are objectively well-made, good movies. There's nothing boring about them. But someone else could watch it and find it boring, right? Spider-Verse, for example, that's a great movie. Someone told me that movie was boring. I don't know how you could find it boring, but they found it boring, okay? But then you look at Togo here, the reason I'm saying it's boring is because, objectively speaking, how the pacing is, it just doesn't, it's not entertaining. So a lot of my reviews, by the way, are objective. So if I say something about a movie, and let's say I like the movie, if I were to review Mortal Kombat Space Jam, those would not be positive reviews. They're not good movies, but I enjoy them. I find them entertaining. Like, I love watching them. I own them. But I can't call them good films. They're not. And so, it's like, I like this movie, but objectively it's bad. So, I feel like you can appreciate a film more if you understand the technicals of, like, the cinematography and stuff. And if the film doesn't work for you, that's okay. But all this stuff is objectively good, and you can't deny that this stuff is all done well, even though you don't like the film. And that's the way I feel about Togo here. I think it's an objectively well-made movie with some big pacing issues. Had this just been paced better, I think it's like almost 2 hours. It needed to be at least an hour, 20 minutes. I don't think it needed to be as stretched out as it was. It just, if it had been a little bit shorter, it might have worked okay. It's like, it's pretty short and you can watch through it. The nice thing about being on streaming is, right, you, instead of watching it in a theater where you're stuck there and you're like, oh my gosh, it's so boring, you can just watch it bit by bit, and it makes it a little bit better. But I mean, if I can't watch a movie in one sitting unless it's like something because of length or just I don't have the time, then there's something wrong. There's something wrong with the film. If I can't watch it in one sitting, I should be able to watch any movie in one sitting. And yeah, that's the way I feel about this. I've been thinking about doing reviews for every single Disney Plus movie. It would be an extensive project, and it also would mean I would have to watch the live action remakes that come out to Disney Plus, and I don't know if I can do that. I don't know if I can handle it. I might do it though. I'll think about it. But let me know if you want to see that. That is my question. Do you want me to review every single Disney movie on Disney Plus, or Disney Plus original movie? I do have 2 Disney Plus movies that I'm looking forward to. There's Hamilton coming out in July, and then there's Artemis Fowl, which is coming out June 12th. So get excited for that review. I will be reviewing it day one it comes out. At least I hope I will. Maybe I'll be busy that day for all I know, but I will be trying to get to it day one.